As we speak today, we must admit that William Ruto now is vulnerable. Is the president of the country whose future is not in his hands. It is just power that he has, but the fact remains that his re-election or his sustainability within the government depends on other people. I had done a video here before, excuse me, and advised President William Ruto, not really advised, and said it, that he's making steps towards finishing himself. And probably most people did not take it positive. But the fact remains that William Ruto has made very serious steps towards finishing his political journey in the country. He might survive politically, but the fact is that in the eyes of Kenyans, he will be among the worst leaders we've ever had. And on this video here today, I want to take you through on some of the steps that President William Ruto has taken, which have literally resulted to him being very vulnerable and putting his political future in danger. But before I take you through, please, if this is the first time you're watching my videos, kindly make sure that you subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. Let me dive into the topic today. President William Ruto came into power allegedly saying that it's on a popular vote, where people across the country voted for him and he won by 250,000 votes. He came into power saying that he has a huge plan to execute in this country. Now, the only problem he did is that he did not consider the people's opinions on these plans that he had. So William Ruto, after coming into power, he started executing his manifesto step by step. And to be specific is that he was changing generally how things have been happening in the entire 60 years that Kenya has been existing. So therefore, he had his focused mind. He had his plan. However, there are a few things that he did that made him actually become very vulnerable. Number one, he did things that were unpopular and people did not like them. And despite, they were also not impacting positively on the common lives, on the common people's lives. What do I mean by this? He introduced housing levy. Housing levy captures what we call the middle class, people employed by government or by the private sector. These people are deducted money every month to go to construct houses, which Kenyans are not seeing up to now. And as we speak today, let me give you a scenario here, and I've given it before. If someone is working, for instance, as a doctor, he has borrowed a loan of maybe 3 million. This gentleman has gone and bought a piece of land. After buying a piece of land, he built a house there with the same 3 million, a small, simple house for his family. Now he's paying back the loan, and the loan is really pressing him. Alongside the loan, there are so many other needs for his family, maybe school fees, supporting extended family, and many others. Then Ruto now comes on board and said, no, you are overstretched, but I want to stretch you further. Further by ensuring that I've taken more from you to go and build a house somewhere else. Then now Kenyans were asking themselves, what is the need of building these houses? Yet we have so many other common problems that are bothering us, which don't need even high taxation. William Ruto ignored the people's voices. But now there's something that he built there. A group that hates him. That is a 4 million strong or more of employed both in government and private sector in the country. This 4 million block is likely to vote against President William Ruto if they don't turn to be tribal come 2027. So already William Ruto has lost common across all board, people from all tribes, 4 million of them. So he'd lost it. Then William Ruto introduced what he called Finance Bill 2024. The youths of this country led the rejection of the Finance Bill 2024. After leading the rejection, William Ruto heard our voices but ignored them. He went ahead to introduce the housing levy. And as a result, youths got killed and some of them shot seriously straight on the head. These people went to their homes. Some of them went to their homes crying that our fellows have been killed by who? President William Ruto, allegedly. Then William Ruto coming out, instead of apologizing to the country, he said these were criminals. Yet they were just people carrying flag, water, and their phone, demonstrating and saying no to the Finance Bill 2024. The only thing William Ruto was supposed to do is just listen to the voices of the voiceless, voices of the common man, but he ignored. Unfortunately, now these people were led by the youths. Now, he developed another group which hates him seriously, the youths of the Republic of Kenya. These youths now, they had almost up to 20 million, and they're the majority of this country. If these people decide to vote today, William Ruto is going home. Completely. He's going home. So in a nutshell, as we speak, William Ruto created another group that hates him, making him very vulnerable. So eventually, after William Ruto realizing, wait, I've lost the middle class, which is a huge number. I've lost the youths. Now what do I do? As he was pondering over these issues, he impeached Rigathi Gachagua. Rigathi Gachagua coming the block of 4 million votes from Mount Kenya region. Now Mount Kenya does not want anything to do with President William Ruto. So as a result, William Ruto became much more vulnerable. What did he do now? He ran to seek political refugee or maybe a place to shelter himself with Raila Amolo Odinga and Uhuru Kenyatta. Now making him completely vulnerable. Vulnerable. In that scenario, if today Raila Amolo Odinga decides and says, the people of Kenya have rejected my marriage with President William Ruto. Now we are dropping it, and I no longer want to associate myself with President William Ruto. What will happen to him? The gentleman from Sugoi will be seriously stressed. He will be seriously stressed to an extent he might even lose his life. I'm telling you. Right now, William Ruto looked very worried even when they were making the agreement in KICC. The fact remains here that William Ruto will be seriously depressed if Raila Amolo Odinga withdraws his support. Remember, Raila Ruto had to ensure Raila Amolo Odinga has been fully funded at the AU. And he ensured that Raila Amolo Odinga has failed to come to Kenya and to win the seat so that he can be here locally available after proving his loyalty to him by funding his campaign. He even appointed his fellows to government. Okay? Those are the 4 cabinet secretaries. So the fact remains as we speak today, William Ruto was proving to Raila Amolo Odinga's loyalty so that he can have Raila Amolo Odinga's support regardless of his loss at the AUC. But as we speak today, Raila Amolo Odinga is getting rejected across the country. So if he decides today I'm stepping out, that is it. And William Ruto will be seriously stressed and probably he might end up resigning as a president of this country. We have to admit that for the next 10 years, 2 years, it's going to be hectic for William Ruto. Now, excuse me. Now, another thing that happened, he went to Uhuru Kenyatta at Ishaweri. He made calls. There are allegations that he called Uhuru Kenyatta to state house not once but twice. Uhuru declined. Eventually he said, if you want to talk to me, come to Ishaweri, my home. Went to Ishaweri where you had promised to take me, now you are coming. So he came to Ishaweri, he went there, met President Uhuru Kenyatta, they shared. It took 4 experts of Uhuru Kenyatta and he took them into government as well. That's Mutahi Kaiga, we had Kagwe we had Mureithi, we had Kabogo, and of course Lee Kinyanjui of Nakuru. When he took this gentleman to government, he expected to change the narrative of Mount Kenya, but he didn't get it. So it depends on Uhuru Kenyatta literally waking up in the morning and deciding today to go to the ground and campaign for President William Ruto seriously. If he does not do so, then that means William Ruto is not getting anything on board, because all those experts that came into power, and I'm going to do an extensive about that, did not help President William Ruto at all. So in a nutshell, we'll get in a scenario where William Ruto will definitely need Uhuru Kenyatta himself to go and campaign for him, and Uhuru Kenyatta cannot. That means William Ruto is completely vulnerable, taking measures which do not impress the common age. If he could have listened to the youths as we speak today, being a young president, a younger president than most of those who are in power right now, William Ruto could have been the darling of the youth of this country. But he did not listen to them. He ignored them and lost the only chance he had on 25th June 2024 of fixing this country by having proper leaders in power. My name is Abel Mokwa. See you next time for more videos. Please let me see in the comment section what you think.